Today I'm going to talk to you about creatine. I'll give my personal experience with it. And most of you guys, if you've researched and found this, you've been researching creatine for a while. I mean, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of studies done on it. It's been around since the 1970s, so 50 years. And it's probably one of the most researched supplements you can find out there. And all creatine, our body can create or produce creatine, but most people, you get it from external sources like just meat and fish and so on. But in many cases, you can't give your body enough of it through the food to help to get the most benefit from it. So most people will supplement it. And the most common is creatine monohydrate. Based on the research I've seen, that's probably the best one to use. All the other derivatives, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Creatine monohydrate is usually the best. And what it does is it will help with ATP, which is just, it helps provide energy to the muscle to help it contract even a little bit faster. It doesn't seem to help so much with like long distance running or endurance type races or exercises, but it definitely helps with that muscle contraction, weight resistance, like if you're a power lifter, bodybuilder, some type of strength related exercise, it seems to help with that. Now, my personal experience with it is I take it through, it was creatine monohydrate in a powder form, and what I would do is every morning I would just mix it, 5 grams of it, into a drink, and virtually tasteless. And for the first week I didn't really notice that much of a difference, but into that second week I noticed the difference in the strength. I was getting stronger. To me it felt like I was recovering quicker, wasn't as sore, joints didn't seem to ache as much, and that doesn't mean it had anything to do with it, but I seemed to be having a little bit more energy. I wasn't getting as tired when I was in the gym doing the workout. I was able to push it harder. I'm one of those that push probably less sets, but heavier, higher intensity reps, a lot of negative. So I'm kind of trying to push it a little harder. And but I was definitely getting stronger. And I noticed that, like on a tricep press, just an example, and I'm not saying this to brag, and any exercise that you do, you will get stronger on it as you continue to work on it, if you continue to push it. So I'm able to do a lot of weight on a tricep cable press, but I may not be able to do near as much on the bench. But on the cable press, I did the full stack and got to the full stack, which is 95 pounds, plus another 3 45-pound plates. And it was getting to the point where it was pretty easy. Well, then I ran out of the creatine. I had it for about a month. I think it was, went ahead and ordered, and it took a little bit longer to get in. I think it was like 10 days. And I noticed the next time I went back around to triceps, and I only work out muscle groups once a week, that when I got to that one additional plate on the stack, it was a little bit harder than it should have been. I mean, because I get plenty of recovery. And I noticed right then that I was maxing out with the full stack and a 145-pound plate, where when I was on the creatine, I was getting 3 45-pound plates. So that's my personal experience with it. And I started back on it after literally just a few days. My next time I went back to working out, and I did that same tricep press again, I was back up to 3 45-pound plates, and it wasn't difficult. So in my personal experience, it works, especially with muscle strength. Also, I did put on a little extra weight. What the creatine does is it will pull water into your muscle, and that's part of the process that helps with gaining that strength. It also gives you probably more volume, and you're going to put on a little bit of weight. I put on approximately 10 or 11 pounds, which, and in my pant size, you're not going to bloat. It's just that it fills your muscles. It pulls that water into your muscles, so you need to drink a little bit more water. But other than that, I can't find any negative research on it. As long as you're having severe kidney disease or any type of heart disease, it's pretty safe. I can tell you firsthand that it definitely improved the maximum weight I could push. It was easier. I've recovered quicker. I wasn't sore, and I had plenty of energy. And most of my workouts, I'm fasted. So it wasn't anything, I don't eat till typically, mid-afternoon. So I saw a big difference. So if that's something you're trying to get stronger, you want to be able to push a little more, have more weight to help speed up that growth a little bit. Creatine Monohydrate, I think, is something that's pretty safe. It's effective. It works. There's lots of research. And I think you can feel confident in using it. And I think you'll see a big difference. Don't worry about the extra weight you put on. It's just a little bit of water weight. It's not going to hurt you. But it definitely works.